Family and friends, welcome to another time of reviewing a study Bible. And today, we've got in our hands the Africa Study Bible. Now, someone might ask, what is unique about the Africa Study Bible? Since we've already gotten a lot of Bibles on the market, that's a blessing, and we don't want to take it for granted because we live in a generation unlike any other, in that we have a lot of resources. But the Africa Study Bible is unique, and the uniqueness of it is what we are going to look at today. So tune in and let's look. This came in from the Oasis Publishers. Yeah, got to get this rubber off it. There we go. I just love the design with the African layout symbols around it. So this should tell you right away that we are going to be having a look at a study Bible coming from the perspective of African Christian scholars. That makes it unique. The commentators in this devotional study Bible are coming from 50 different countries. I hope you see this at the back, 50 different countries. And they are 350 in all. This is the largest number of contributors to any Bible in the world. Its uniqueness is given at the back here, that it's written with illustrations and perspective from the African lens. And that means that the application of the text, which is the same around the world, may be different from the application of the text in unique places. So the African landscape has its own challenges, peculiar challenges, which are addressed. But this does not mean that no one else is allowed to own one of these Bibles, because it's such a joy to be able to read and glean from brothers and sisters around the globe. We are one church with one foundation, Jesus Christ. And that makes it even more enjoyable to know that we have brothers and sisters in Asia, Europe, Africa, America, Australia, all coming together in Revelation 7 to be singing and praising God. So let's get into it. This is a hardcover. There is a note in here showing you the countries in Africa and the population, as well as their official languages. I think this is helpful. Sometimes Africa can be described and spoken about as a country, not a continent. And so having to know all the countries in Africa is really, really helpful, especially for anyone not well versed in the African continent. You've got your beautiful presentation page right here. You have the Shema, written right in the first pages of written words. The Lord our God is one and only Lord. Which is the first commandment to Israel, and the second, which is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. So right from the onset, you get the note which shows you the two texts that are so important for the Christian faith. I just love the beauty of the colors. The mix of colors is amazing. And actually you are able to find summary of these statements in the Bible verses given below. So we have Philippians 4:12-13, which speaks about I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. But then it gives the context as well. Is it meaning everything, or is it meaning everything that is related to Christ? So you see the context. I have learned the secret of living in every situation. And Paul speaks in this situation in prison. And I think it is highlighted as well. Here you have the publishers. Oasis International Limited. And the translation utilized in this Bible, the New Living Translation. So let me highlight again 350 scholars from 50 different countries came together to write in this specific Bible. You have your articles and notes and the name of contributors and how to use this study Bible. So some of the articles are already mentioned here, like the story of the Bible, understanding and applying the Old Testament today, predominant themes, creation, for caring for God's creation, and a host of others. So these entries actually are in the pages. You don't need to finish reading and combing around or looking for them at the back of the Bible. You find them in the study note entries on the pages. So the committee which sat down to bring together this Bible. Essentially, this Bible was necessary from the background that many Africans were desiring to have a Bible with application entries speaking into their context. And so you find scholars who are not specifically Africans by the look of them or their skin color, but also Africans because they are African at heart and they have known the continent for many years in their work there. So you have missionaries and you have Americans who have invested time and energy into the church in Africa. Someone like Craig Keener is given a mention here from the United States of America. And we have Conrad Mbewe, who is from Zambia here. So just on the same page you find an American and an African. I am glad to know some of the contributors to this edition personally. Some I know from campus right here at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. And my own primary advisor's name is right here, Tite Tieno, who is from Burkina Faso. All right. You find these symbols which have been carefully utilized in the study notes editions, and they are explained. One thing I love about these symbols and how they were carefully chosen is that we have the ornate cross, which is showing the north, south, east, and west, showing where the Bible is meant to be utilized, which is around the world, of course, but then in the north, south, east, and west, because of the African context of Africa. The Coptic cross, which is in Egypt, is representing North Africa. The Matimesie, which is actually the language I speak in Ghana, representing West Africa. The Nguni symbol represents Southern Africa, which is a symbol for made peace. And then the Maasai shield and spear represents East Africa. But they have another function as well. They stand for the application note. Example, the Maasai shield will stand for the application note when you open the text. This session explains in detail the history and vision behind the Africa Study Bible. These are notes you will find generally in almost every Bible, the textual differences and the text used by the translation experts, cross references and how they were used, so let's skip to the first book of Genesis. You find the usual suspect: author, date, purpose, overview, and story line. So this is an example of the application. Anytime you see the Maasai symbol, it references the application section. And the Matimesie symbol from Ghana, or I'll say West Africa, is a reference to the Proverbs and the stories. The Coptic symbol is right here for a learning session. So aside from the, I think this is a new edition, I have to let it lay flat. This lays flat. The text is double column, as you can see. Beside that, as we already mentioned, it's a hardcover, but it's a hardcover, but it's also Smithsonian binding. So that means that you are going to have it lasting for as much as any good hardcover with a Smithsonian binding. I wish I had the maps shown in color, but it's still visible. I love that they are able to bring it up and show the texture of the land. It's prominent. I hope you're able to see it as I see it. So beside looking at the font, this is a good font size. It's good on my eyes. It's about a 9.5 font size, and the cross references are right in the center of the page. Easy to look at and easy to look for. It shouldn't be difficult to see. Some Bible page designs make it a difficulty to cross-reference, and cross-references are very important if you are doing a deeper Bible studies. You will really want to have it. And I love how notes are put at the bottom. You are able to find them and make use of them. This African touch points notes are just beautifully done. For example, we are one family. Isn't it true that the Christian faith is a representation of one family under Christ? And it's always a helpful reminder when you have notes like this. You can get one of these Bibles on Amazon.com or contact Oasis. We will leave a link down on the Bible review of the Africa Study Bible so that you can look or check it out. So what we see after we move past Revelations, this is one place I see Bibles which are study Bibles stand out, and I'm always curious to find what we have right after the text block or the Bible itself. So the resources for learning and teaching. So you have on the first page the history of Christianity in Africa. Sometimes it's debated and sometimes it is not. Many think Christianity came to Africa only in the 19th or 18th century, but that is wrong. I'll say emphatically wrong. And you will find in this history of Christianity in Africa the spread of the church from the New Testament, first century period, into Africa, from Egypt to Ethiopia and to certain parts of Africa before missionary encounter in the 18th century. So these are really helpful study materials for everyone interested in God's work in Africa. And if you are a missionary hoping to go do short-term or long-term missions in Africa, you will benefit from this Bible as well. So some of the church fathers or early church leaders in North Africa are giving notes here. Of the story of Perpetua and Felicitas, who were martyred in Carthage, formerly the name for present-day Tunisia. Christianity in Ethiopia and Sudan mentioned. You remember the story? Let's go back here. You remember the story of the Ethiopian Enoch in the book of Acts, where Philip encounters him. The Ethiopian in the Bible, in the book of Acts, is a reference not to modern day Sudan, not to modern day Ethiopia, but to Sudan. That is why we have Nubia right here. The first evangelical wave in Africa. So I think you have mission entries as well, so that you are able to find how the church in Africa really spread out, including missionary efforts. There are indigenous African churches which were initiated within the era of 1885 and 1960. Right after the study notes, you are able to find the index and concordance as well. Beautifully done, easy on the eyes. I highly recommend this study Bible. So there you have it. After your study notes and concordance, you have a reading plan. You know, it's so easy to make these New Year resolutions that you are going to read the Bible in the year, and sometimes it's difficult. I think this is a helpful reading plan. You can check the box when you are done reading. It's broken down into weeks. It gives you accountability. Then you have your maps. Unlike the maps within the text itself, which were not colored, you have colored maps, beautiful maps here, showing the Exodus from Egypt, showing the word of the patriarchs, Exodus, the time of the age of the empires, as well as Paul's journeys, and Israel and the Middle East today. So that is that for the Africa Study Bible. I hope you are able to check it out yourself and leave comments and questions, and we will get back to you as we are able. Until next time, stay blessed and be safe. Bye-bye.